In the modern world, we've been separated from the ancient wisdom that was given to every single culture, to all our ancestors. We were given knowledge of the spirit world, knowledge of the divine world, and that has been stamped out. It was stamped out by literalism, scriptural literalism primarily in the West for centuries, and now that scriptural literalism is starting to lose its sway, it's been replaced by this materialism, that everything is material, there's no such thing as a spirit world. Well, that's not true. The gods and goddesses that are spoken of in the ancient traditions are still there. They are within us, they are all around us. We can become aware and attuned to them and incorporate them into our modern life. And that's what I'm calling Modern Ancient Man, this new series. Every day we'll focus on some aspect of bringing the ancient wisdom into our lives today. Today is Wednesday. I'm recording this on Wednesday. Wednesday in the English language comes from the god Wotan, Odin, Odin's Day. And Odin connects with the god Hermes or Mercury in the Greek and the Roman traditions. It's the same principles, the same divine principles. The god Odin was the god who saw the runes in the sticks, in the tree branches on the forest floor as he hung from the world tree for 9 days and 9 nights. Odin had a staff and he wore a broad-brimmed hat. Well, the god Hermes, or Mercury, he's depicted in various ways in the ancient Greek and Roman artwork, but he often was depicted with a broad-brimmed hat. He also wore a winged hat, of course, but very interesting patterns of connections between Hermes and Odin, because it's the same god, the same divine principle, and Hermes was the god who invented the alphabet as well as numbers, according to some of the ancient sources of ancient Greece and ancient Rome. So on Wednesday, you can invite the god Hermes, the god Odin, into your day and concentrate on those attributes of Hermes, those attributes of Odin. You can study what those are, you can learn what those are, and you can focus on those on Wednesday. Hermes is also the god who, according to the ancient myths, invented musical instruments. He invented the lyre by stringing sheep gut or entrails. He made strings, just like they make strings out of gut for modern guitars. He invented the stringed instrument by stringing these gut strings on an empty tortoise shell or turtle shell, and that was the first lyre, the first stringed instrument. And he gave it to his brother Apollo, who became the god of music. Apollo, who is, of course, a sun god, so we can think about Apollo on Sunday as well. But Hermes and Apollo were actually brothers or half-brothers, and they got into a lot of kind of arguments or adventures, as brothers sometimes do. There was a little bit of a rivalry between them, but Hermes gave that stringed instrument to Apollo to kind of appease Apollo after Hermes had stolen some of Apollo's cattle. Anyway, that became the first stringed instrument in the Greek tradition. That's where we got stringed instruments from. Well, all the stringed instruments that descend from that, you can play guitar or even piano. I'm not going to play piano for you today, but the piano is basically a big guitar on its side. It's a stringed instrument. You're making the music on the different lengths of the string, just like you do with a guitar. You're not changing the lengths with your fingers like you do with a guitar, but it's the same instrument. Well, Hermes is also credited with inventing the panpipe or the flutes, or sometimes in ancient Greek they were called the syrinx, S-Y-R-I-N-X. And so I'm going to play a little bit of Didgeridoo today, and I'm going to go into a little bit of a trance and think about the attributes of Hermes and Odin and invite that into my life and acknowledge that within me. You have those attributes of the different gods and goddesses, and you can go through your week and observe and consider those different attributes on the different days of the week each week. Now, when I say go into a trance, that does not necessarily mean lose consciousness. It means go into the unconscious part of who we are. I've made other videos, and I'll put a link here, about how science and experiments have shown that a vast part of what we do comes from our unconscious. Our unconscious realm is more than half of our thinking. In fact, some estimates are 90%, 95%. It's been compared to an iceberg. Only the conscious part is above the water, but 7/8 of that iceberg is down below the water. Getting in touch with your unconscious, that is a trance state. The ancients talked about going into a trance state. It doesn't mean that you become unconscious. It means that you open yourself up to that realm beneath the conscious surface. That is what the ancient myths map out for us. That is where the gods and goddesses live. So I choose to play the didgeridoo as a way of getting in touch with that divine part, that unconscious part of me where the divine forces live. That is where the gods and goddesses dwell. That is where Hermes, Odin, those divine aspects are in you. And today I'm choosing to go in and meditate on Hermes and Odin while I play some didgeridoo here in the forest. And in the forest is where Odin saw the runes. The runes are a form of wisdom from the beyond, divine wisdom. And you can also use runes to get in touch with the divine message for your life. If you have runes, you can select a rune, and Odin's Day or Wednesday would be a wonderful day to do that during your week, every week. So tune in for more of the ancient modern man, how to bring this ancient wisdom that was given to us into our lives and walk with the divine realm every single day, throughout your day, wherever you are.